Hello and welcome back to another video on the wrestling and another edition of Raw out of 10 on the heels of Elimination Chamber that saw Rhea Ripley and Randy Orton punch their tickets to WrestleMania. Raw hit the Netflix airways with the return of Roman Reigns and a lot more with all of the fallout from the show. So without further ado, let's get straight into things, and we start things off fueled by Fury and Vengeance. Paul Heyman, Logan Paul and Austin Theory hit the ring and threatened to hold the show hostage until Seth Rollins appeared. Instead, Adam Pearce claimed there'd be no holding the show up and said they need to have a conversation with Rollins, who had yet to be physically cleared for comp. Several masked decoys appeared, grabbing the heel's attention and leaving the Oracle alone long enough for the Visionary to blast him with a chair to deliver a stomp to the approval of the fans. And yeah, a hot start to the show that felt relevant and urgent. Putting Rollins in the opening segment was the right call and gave us one of the biggest stars on the show right on the heels of a big return on the pay-per-view. So yeah, I thought that was good, and the crowd really reacted. So yeah, good stuff. As we then moved on to backstage, medics tended to a bloody Paul Heyman until Jimmy Uso beat down Austin Theory and LA Knight, drove the wise man out the arena in a commanded ambulance. And in the arena we got Dragon Lee attacking Gunther during the Ring General's entrance ahead of their advertised match. What ensued over the next two segments was the best match of TV so far this year. Lee absorbed everything Gunther threw at him and survived, fighting his way back in the match. When the former world champion exhibited overconfidence, he made him pay for it, unleashing his arsenal on Gunther on the arena floor and nearly defeating him by counter. Back in the ring, his rally was cut short as Gunther caught him, transitioned into the sleeper and moved Lee's mask and associated tap out. Yeah, this was just really good stuff. The finish, I thought that, the match, the intensity up to that point was just excellent, and I think, hopefully get more of that from Dragon Lee, and Gunther just once again proving how good he is. A triumphant and celebratory AJ Lee then hit the ring to discuss her win over Becky Lynch. She credited the fans with believing her all the way through her title win and vowed to be a fighting champ. She promised to defend the title the next time she was in the ring. Mentioned any one of the women then she returned from her decade-long hiatus. Ladies, show me what you got, she said to wrap things up. And yeah, good I thought promo from Lee. She comes across really well as a babyface. The open challenge stick feels repetitive, so yeah, hopefully we get more kind of open booking than that. But I thought, good first promo. As we then moved on to Original Grande Americano versus Rayo, but before that, a pre-tape promo from Liv Morgan saw her relive her trials and tribulations on the road to stardom WWE, all while wearing Stephanie Vaquera's resume ahead of their match at WrestleMania. But the Original Grande Americano picked up the win over his imposter by defeating one of his minions, Rayo. A competitive match benefiting the talent involved. It saw Americano overcome attempted interference from the heel Leech Sean Bravo to out-wrestle Rayo for the victory. I don't know, I'm going to get this a bit confused now. It just kind of feels like it's time to move on a bit from all this things and just give us Chad Gable and Ludwig Kaiser back and whatever. 5 out of 10. Moving on then, Rusev hopped on the announce table and called out Obafemi, tired of hearing about the ruler and his recent successes. Oba answered and the T-brawl, with Femi getting the best of the budding rivalry with a big spine buster. I think, that could be good for you for Obafemi. I don't really know how it benefits Rusev, but we'll have to see. Backstage, Lyra declared that she cannot wrestle Bayley, left off WrestleMania, and told her to go put her name in for a shot with AJ Lee, Women's IC champ. When she did, Io Sky exited the office, staring down her former Damage Control teammate. I would like to see that match. That would be really good. Before we got Jimmy Uso versus Austin Theory, obviously a product of the opening angle. The back and forth match was chaotic, with the fight spiraling to the ring early and often. Before anyone could get involved, Logan Paul drew a DQ. Jey Uso's music played and the former world champion joined his brother in attacking from behind with crutches, laying into the heels and clearing them out from the square circle to clean things out. Yeah, this kind of felt more like a segment guided as a match, to be fair. Just could have just been a backstage vignette. So yeah, it kind of did feel a bit unnecessary and over the top. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Before Rhea Ripley addressed the crowd following her Elimination Chamber win, she thanked Io Sky for helping her come out of a dark place and vowing to win the Blue Brands women's titles for her former tag partner. Ripley stared intensely into the camera, addressing Cargo, and directly vowed to win the goals. I thought, the fire was really good here, and I think if we get time to properly build the story, which they do have now, I think that could be really, really good. And I think, Ripley going over to SmackDown makes sense. As we then got the IC title match between Penta and Dominic Mysterio. Dom was cursed by Danhausen backstage, and after minutes of dominating the action, he delivered the DDT to Penta on the ring apron to maintain control. The champ delivered the plancha to the floor, wiping out his opponent as they entered the break. Penta managed a comeback that left Mysterio reeling and the fans feeling a new champ may be crowned. He delivered the sacrifice, then added a Penta drive, but the Brazilian heel champions kicked out at 2 to the shock and awe of the WWE Universe. Chicanery unfolded late with Mysterio demanding JD McDonough retrieve the bell hammer, only for Finn Balor to present him from giving it to the champ. Back in the ring, Penta dodged the 619 and scored the win with the Mexican Destroyer. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I thought, this was pretty solid. I thought the match was really good. The best call, I think, as well. Obviously, I think that with whole Dom and Judgment Day with the IC title, it's been going on for too long. I think Penta really needed a big moment like this. The Danhausen curse was funny as well. It'd be interesting to see where that all goes. But yeah, I thought it was good stuff. For the first time since the beginning of February, Roman Reigns appeared in the closing segment of this week's Raw. Before he could speak, World Heavyweight Champ CM Punk cut him off with his own entrance. Punk reminded Reigns of their history in Indianapolis, dating back to the Shield's debut in the city at the 2012 Survivor Series. He hit back by later claiming WWE brought Punk back to appear as 30 to 40-year-old virgins living in their parents' basements. Reigns took the shot at Punk, claiming he was miserable and complaining backstage that his people rushed to tell him about it. He promised to beat Punk, talk about taking the title back and sending packing a retirement tour and a trip to the NXT to get the next gen ready. The Best in the World wrapped the segment up with a furious retort, reminding Reigns that he has no more backup, be it the Bloodline or the Shield, and at WrestleMania he's going to bury Reigns right next to his father. I think this just once again emphasised Punk is the most important performer on the road to WrestleMania, thanks to his feeding, as the world champ, obviously full-time as well, continues to churn out some excellent promos, delivering the exclamation point on the segment, a much-needed body blow, turning kind of the war of words in his favour against Roman Reigns. On a night where there's plenty of solid anthems, Punk once again proved he's the best in the world. Overall, Raw this week gets a 7 out of 10 from me. The follow-up to Elimination Chamber was a show with increased urgency and direction, and the result was a much more focused, easier-to-watch broadcast. The segments that needed to deliver did, including the show closure and the show opener involving Seth Rollins and The Vision was great stuff. Everything in between was fine for what it was, and a big upgrade on last week. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.